It's Wolfie here, and in this video I'm going to inform you on how to get stains and markings out of fake fur or fursuits. Now, as you can see here, I have my Lapida head and my mulin, and over here in this big pile of heap is my Lapida bodysuit. Last night I just went to a meet, so I thought that this would be a really good video to show you how to get stains and markings out of your fursuit. Now, what you're going to need for this exact thing is, starting off, just some simple white paper towels or a white towel. You want to make sure you get something white and doesn't have any, pretty markings on it or anything that has dyes on it, because the product that you're going to be using to get rid of stains obviously gets rid of stains, meaning it'll get rid of dyes, and when you're rubbing on your fursuit, it will literally dye your fur. So, again, make sure that you get something simply white. It could be towel, paper towel, anything with no dyes on it. Then, of course, you're going to need a simple slicker brush, like so. And then the obvious reason for cleaning fursuits is faux. It looks like this. This is the 32 ounce. And it's just basically a carpet stain remover. This is fantastic stuff, and I have been using it for a while now on cleaning stains and markings for my suit. But, hold on, you want to be extremely, extremely careful with this stuff, okay? This stuff is a little bit abrasive on fur, and I'm about to show you the reason why. If we come over here to mulin, the very first time I used faux, I used it incorrectly. And as you can see here, come a little closer, if it'll zoom in here, see where the fur is sticking out here? It is completely gone from the suit, and especially right here under her neck. Now, this is what happens when you use faux incorrectly. Now, I'm sending mulin back for some upgrades, and obviously to fix this. But I want you to learn from my mistakes not to do that. Now, I have since used this stuff the proper way, and it works fantastic. I'm just letting you know now that if you want to use faux to get rid of stains, you're going to have to be extremely, extremely cautious, diligent, and patient. So that's just a big warning right now. So if we come over here to my bodysuit, here we have my bodysuit here. If you're not sure, it's a Dutch angel dragon, and Dutch angel dragons are notorious for having dragging tails. So, sorry, I just had to zoom in there. As you can see, I have two tails here, because that's just my character's design. Now, if you come over to this tail, you'll see it kind of looks a little wet. That's because I just cleaned it with the faux, and it looks kind of funny and wet, but that's just because I cleaned it. So, if we compare the clean right here, sorry, my camera here is having a trouble zooming in. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty nice. Now we're going to come over here to the dirty one, the one I haven't cleaned. As you can see here, it's still kind of a little bit grungy. You know, it's not too bad, but, kind of is going to need some care. Now let's get to the terrible side of, well, I'll just show you. This is the side of my tail that drags on the floor, is disgusting. Just look at that. I don't even want to know what that is. Gross, no fun. Now, if we do the same thing to this tail, flip it over. Wow, look at that. What a difference. Cleaned, not clean. So, as you can see, yes, of course, it's still got a little stain here, but comparing the two, what a difference. What a difference. Now, this is just simply the faux I used on this, and as you can see, there's a huge, huge comparison. So, how do we do this process? So, let me set up my camera a little better, and I will go into the process and show you in this video. I am now going to show you how I clean my tails. So it's really simple as it is. You get your faux and you just start spraying directly on there. Look at that. That is just so gross. Look at all the just disgusting, dirty grossness. Now you really, really want to soak this. Soak this bad boy up. Oops, I dropped it. So just basically, just get right in there. And as you can see when you're, as you can see when you're spraying, a little bit is already starting to come out of the material, which is a good thing. That's what we want. We don't want any dirty, gross stuff. Sorry if this video is kind of awkward right now, just me squirting some of my tails here. And then the last one. You just really, really want to soak. Get pretty much everywhere that looks disgusting. One more spray for good measure. Now, you just kind of let it sit for like maybe 30 seconds or so. And we just kind of wait. Maybe spray a little more. It's a little more rigorous to it. Okay, so 30 seconds have gone by about. What we're going to do, if I can tear this off. I am so sorry. I am home alone, so I have no one else to really help me with this video. So, we just take a plain paper towel, and we just start wiping it with the direction of the material. Look at that. Gross. Yep, so you just kind of want to be doing this gentle. You want to be extremely, extremely gentle here. Just going with the fur. And look, I haven't even finished the tail, and this is absolutely just gone. So you're going to need a lot of these paper towels, so yep. It's just, you know, this is something that dragging tails have, and, you know, they're fantastic to have. I love dragging tails, but, you know, there's just going to be a little bit more work and care put into them. So then, you just kind of keep spraying more and more. That's all there really is to it, just lots of spraying, and just kind of repetitive work. And do this one more time. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this until it becomes clean, but that's basically all I'm doing. Spraying, wiping down, spraying, and wiping down. That's about it. What was just literal seconds for you was a good half hour. And as you can see, here is that tail that just looked absolutely disgusting. And it's all nice and clean now. I'm going to flip it over here for you, if I can. Oh, goodness. A little heavy with the water. Okay. And ta-da, see, there's both sides. Wow, what a difference between that gross start and that gross, or that beautiful finish. See, now both tails look pretty good. Now, as you zoom in a little closer, yeah, you still see some stains. But considering what it was like when it started, this is an amazing, amazing difference. Now, one part I didn't show you, and it was really hard for me to record, and I'm sorry, was after I was done, you know, using the faux, I then ran over to the tub and got the coldest water I could, and then simply rinsed off the tails or the feathers with this cold water, squishing and rinsing out the faux, and now it's just a little wet and damp. And now from here, basically, you're just going to want to put it over a fan and air dry, and that's pretty much it. That's how I get stains out of my dragging tails. It's a really, really awesome, like, difference between what I started with and then here. So that's just how I do it. And as you can see, it is an amazing result. Probably you're wondering, how do I get stains out of, let's say, actual fur or a fur head? Now, this next part, I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So I'm going to mostly be focusing on Laputa right now, because I do have a little bit of a stain on her. Now, I'm just going to say, bye, Mulin. Okay, so now let's come over here to Laputa. As you can see here, there's a little tiny little dirt mark right here on her face. And then also a tiny little dirt mark right here on her ear. Now, this is how I do it. And again, you have to be extremely, extremely diligent with this. So, again, you're just going to be simply using the faux, And you want to make sure that it is on spray, not stream, especially for fake fur or fursuits. So let me just get up here and grab one more thing I forgot. So first thing you want to do is brush it out nice and even. Make sure you're using the technique I talked about in my last video about brushing against the, or with the fur, but not on the, you know what I mean. Just brush it out nice and good. That way we can actually get down to the roots of the fur. And now just simply get as close as you can, literally right on the fur, and just give it a nice spray. See? And then right over here, one nice little spray. And then again, you want to, come on, focus. There we go. Now then again, you just want to let it sit and stay there for a while. And then we're just going to let it sit here for about 30 seconds. 30 seconds are up. Just get a plain white towelette or whatever, and just go ahead and very, very gently, like you are petting a baby kitten, just kind of rub with the fur. Nice and gentle. I'm sorry my camera cannot focus. Nice and gentle, just with the grain of the fur, as soft as you can. Now, as you can see, the stain is pretty much gone. All that's left is that little marking is actually, the fur is wet. So it's pretty amazing stuff, really, but again, you have to be extremely, extremely diligent and cautious with this stuff. Okay, so I just let it sit a little longer, and then let's come to this one up here. Let me just, okay. Again, as careful as you can, just nice and gentle. Now see, this one's a little more vigorous stain, so that means we're probably going to have to spray one more time on it. And that's totally fine. So one stain or spray right there. Let that soak just a little bit longer. We can come back to this one and again, just be very gentle. And pretty much that stain is gone. Like, it's just a little wet right now, but once I dry it, it'll be good. This one sit for another 30 seconds. Now again, be extremely, extremely gentle. Just like as gentle as you can be. Like you have just met a unicorn and you are now petting the unicorn. Okay? So as you can see, the stain is a little bit more kind of really set in there. So I'm going to just apply a little more pressure, not too much. Just a little more to get a little bit deeper in there. Doing this for about, like 5 minutes, and I kind of cut out that part of the video just because it's kind of boring, but as you can see, it is looking a lot better. That little dark spot, honestly, I think is because it is still a little wet, but of course we're just going to keep working on it and be ever so gentle. It looks a lot better compared to when it first started. And then this one as well. Now here is the most important thing when working with Folex. Get a nice brand new clean towel. That one has a little fur on it. And then over here just have a simple cup of water. Dip the towel in the water like so. And then just apply water to the area. Now this is getting the Folex out of the fur. This is the most important part. You need to get the Folex out. Otherwise, it'll ruin your fur. It is a chemical, and if you leave it in there, that's what will make the fur pull out. That is what I did wrong on the first time. So you just kind of want to get water in there, probably get it pretty nice and damp, probably all the way down to the foam if you need to. And yeah, just keep adding water. Now I will come over here and add water to this one. This is a very important step, and you cannot miss this step. Get some more water over here. Sorry. Sometimes I forget that I'm recording these videos. Okay. I probably do that a few more times. After I wet the fur, I then dried it. So I didn't show you that process, but basically I just put it in front of a fan for about 45 minutes and just let it air dry. Never ever apply heat to your fursuit or fake fur. It will damage. So as you can see, that stain is pretty much completely gone. It looks really good as new. And the one up here, it's still a little tiny bit wet, but I don't see the stain whatsoever. So yeah, that's pretty much how I get rid of stains and marks on my fursuit. Now just a reminder that be very, very cautious with faux. It can extremely damage your suit if you use it incorrectly. But as you can see here, I used it as I showed in this video, and everything is fine. No fur is missing, and it looks as good as new. And that is how I get rid of stains on my fursuits. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!